What if I just did the whole video with me? This is hot with the candle. Okay. Oh, this way. Welcome back, everybody. If you can't tell, I've changed the setup. How are we feeling? You are currently on a stack of books and a box of tissues. Do we like it? Yes or no? My candle, not going too strong, but is it giving aesthetic or is it giving... Oh, wait, listen to this. Please. Answer yes or no. Is it giving aesthetic or is it giving, hey, maybe don't do that. Okay. It's not been a while, but sort of. I am here today to talk to you about two books that I finished in April. And the reason I'm talking about these two together is they sort of correspond with one another. Not on purpose. I did not mean to read two books that were sort of this feeling, but I just did. We're going to talk about coming of age stories. And I guess, hey, what do you call these? Real people stories? I don't know. But this sort of coming of age, growing up, living your life sort of stories. All right, first, and I just talked about this one, but Flesh by David Szalay. Still can't figure out how to say it. I finished this. I'm going to talk about this one. And Sisters in Yellow by Mieko Kawakami. I finished this one a couple weeks ago. I'm going to talk about Sisters in Yellow first. Wait, let's read it. Hannah has nothing, but she's hopeful. She's 15 years old. She lives in a tiny apartment in a suburb of Tokyo with her young mother, a hostess at a local dive bar. They have no money, no security. Then Kimiko appears. Oh, said it wrong. Then Kimiko. Got it. Then Kimiko appears. Kimiko is older, a bright light in Hannah's dark world. Together they set up Lemon, a bar that despite its shabby setting and seedy clientele becomes a haven for Hannah. Suddenly, Hannah has a job she loves, friends to share her days with, and the glittering promise of money. She feels like a normal girl. She feels invincible. But in the narrow alleys of... Guys, mean pronunciation. I'm going to skip that. Nothing is as it seems. Soon all of Hannah's... It's the city she lives in. Soon all of Hannah's hope, her optimism, and her drive will be tested to the limit. A story of enduring friendship and deep betrayal, Sisters in Yellow is a masterpiece of teenage dreams and adult cruelties that confirms Mieko Kawakami as one of the greatest writers of her generation. So, I've never read any of Kawakami's books. I'm curious. I kind of want to try Breast and Eggs after and see if I'd like it. First thoughts. It was long. And that is not anyone else's fault but my own. I did kind of jump in between and read Project Hail Mary in between this. So I think that was kind of on me. But it did sort of put me in a slump after, which again is not a reflection of the book in any way. I think it's just... It is a quite slow read, and it kind of reminds me of, how do people remember things? Hey, pause. It kind of reminds me of, Murakami's style, where it's not necessarily, slow in a bad way. There's just a lot of things that need to be said, and so it's a full kind of story. But that's kind of how I felt. It was very much you're learning everything about these people and their lives, and every little moment that goes through. There's nothing that the author skips. So I think if you really like the details of stories in that sense, I think you would enjoy it. For me, it felt at moments where I was kind of like, okay, let's go. But that's me. That's my problem. All right. So, Sisters in Yellow, I mean, it's just money, babes. That's what it's about. I mean, it's, I will say, I definitely, from the first couple chapters, expected it to be more of, I've never read Kawakami before, so I wasn't really sure where it was going, but the way that the plot is sort of get set up in the beginning, it feels like it's gonna go in ooh, creepy kind of way, but it doesn't at all. So that was maybe the point. I don't know. but yeah, it's just money. I mean, it follows Hannah as she goes up through high school, and it follows her all the way up into her like early 20s, and you get a few flashbacks in the beginning. And so you kind of start to think like, well, who is this person, and who is, guys, me and names, like Kimoko, right? Like you're not really sure who these people are, and you kind of keep waiting. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's money. It's money and it's work. And it's that the book focuses so much on, and it's hard to explain if you've never experienced it, but the immense, all-consuming feeling of money. That feeling of the high you get from making money and the low you get from losing money. And, you know, if you're a person that is lower class or has ever worked for yourself or has ever had to support yourself, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like this constant back and forth that I think people in those environments deal with. And I will say that, I mean, Kawakami does an amazing way of showing that. And I think if you are someone who maybe hasn't experienced those kinds of hardships, I think if you read this, you'll really understand what people go through. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just about surviving. And, you know, especially when you're young and there are people that, you know, girl, how old am I? I'm 28 and I still don't really, you know sometimes if what I'm doing is the right thing or the wrong thing. But for these kids that grow up in these environments and then go into their 20s, for them, this is not about right or wrong. This is about survival. And that's what it felt like reading Hannah's story, is she's wanting to survive and she's wanting to feel so normal, and making money and having this bar and like having these experiences makes her feel normal. So when those things start to kind of crumble in front of her, I mean, that is like the end of the world to her, you know, and this feeling of normalcy is going away. And when you've never experienced that, it's like you'll do anything you can to hold on to it and to hold on to these feelings. But, you know, like most people know, your early 20s is full of change, and it never stays this way that you think it's going to change. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the premise of the book, and I enjoyed the overall feeling of the book. But yeah, there were some moments for me that were a bit like, ooh. So curious to see what other people felt. I felt like it was the writing was incredible. I mean, I get it. The translation, obviously I don't speak Japanese, but to me, this translation is incredible. Like the nuances that come through, and I feel like the way that it's spoken is so easy to follow and great. I really enjoyed the writing style overall. The sort of feeling that you get from Hannah and knowing that she is just a child, and that a lot of her, there's some like frustrations at times that I felt with her, but a lot of her inner sort of struggles are just the fact that she's a child, and she is sort of surrounded by people that are also dealing with the same thing, right? Like all of these people are leading her, and it's like, are they doing the right thing? Questionable, right? And it's just this whole sort of constant cycle of people put into these situations and they don't have a choice but to make money, right? And all they have is just what they think is right in the moment and what they think is helpful, what they think is going to make them money. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think it's anyone's fault, a lot of these situations that they're put in. But I enjoyed the overall feeling of the book, and I enjoyed the point that was trying to be made, especially as somebody who has felt those feelings surrounding money and the almost like trauma bond you get with money sometimes. Like, you're like, oh, I need this to survive, but also I hate the way, like, it's interesting. I think definitely I had a lot of thoughts after, and it kind of, after I finished it, I sat with it for a while and was kind of like, I could feel myself and feel the way that I have felt about money and about these situations in the book. So I will say it's true to its sort of basis there. Moving on. Hey, why is it darker? Moving on. Flesh. I have a lot of feelings about this book. it was a whirlwind, okay? I will say, from beginning to end, I did not know what was happening or where we were going the whole time. Like, to go from being, like, literally, man starts out in Hungary and then ends up in England, and it's, like, crazy. Like, it felt very stoner-esque to me. The story of a man's life from, young to old, and the story of sort of, like, not underdog, because he's not, but the story of, like, growing up in this sort of lower class environment, and then you get it all, and then it was kind of giving that for me, which I kind of was about, because I don't know, it won a Booker, so part of me is like, I don't know if it's just that winning a Booker means I have a higher expectation, but it felt like stoner. I don't know, I was very about it. I also felt it. Again, this is another one. I feel very 50-50 with this. Maybe I just have too high of standards. As an overall reading journey, I enjoyed it, and I got through it super fast. It's not very long. I devoured it, honestly, because I was just curious. Like, the whole time, you're just like, what the hell is going on? But the main character himself is not that great to me, and I hate to say this, but I will say that him just being like a man the whole time was kind of not super fun to me. Like, I know that was probably the point in some way, but he wasn't that great of a person, and there's so many like things that I felt like could have just been easily fixed with communication. And I mean, I guess the whole basis of this one too is kind of as well, like, I mean, obviously there's a lot of parallels. I don't want to like give too much away, but there's a lot of parallels in between like what happens in his youth and what happens to him as an adult. And like, there's a lot of things that he goes through, like military and obviously money and working and, all kinds of different things. But does that mean that he can be the way he is? I don't think so. And then, sorry, but the ending is like super depressing. So part of me, I don't know. The whole time I was like, I don't know. It's just, is that the point? I don't know. I don't know if I'm being too harsh. I just kind of, it wasn't bad. And I think I would probably recommend it to people. I think it was a bit of an easier, digestible sort of book than maybe Sisters in Yellow. Oh, that's why it's dark. My light went out. Guys, that's not going to happen. I would say it was a bit more of a digestible, I guess, read than Sisters in Yellow. I don't know. It just kind of depends on, they're completely different. I don't know why but yeah, I don't know. This one was, again, I would recommend it to somebody. I think it was good. And I think obviously it's good to read books that are recognized by, I guess, awards, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious. This is one that I like, as soon as I finished it, I went to look up reviews because I was so curious as to what other people felt about it. He was very much a man. And that was one part for me that was kind of like, ooh. But again, yeah, it's just life, right? Like, that's how I feel about Sisters in Yellow. That's how I feel about with Flesh as well, is it was very much giving life. And I appreciate that. I appreciate a book that really focuses on like the humanity and human life and the what is it? The like, whatever, humans are psychotic. I appreciate books that kind of go with that, but at the same time, I don't know if those are for me, because at the end of the day, like, at the ending of all of these, I was like, what the hell? These are so depressing. And personally, I am very much an optimist, I suppose. So I guess part of me is always kind of looking for this, like, hope at the end of something that I'm hoping that it's going to turn out. And, like, both of these were kind of bummers. I mean, I guess there was some, like, self-reflection and self-forgiveness at the end of the both of them, which I can appreciate, but I don't know. I think that's why. I mean, I will say Flesh, it's funny, because Sisters in Yellow sort of put me in a slump, and then Flesh did get me out of it. But at the same time, now I'm like, sad, and are humans okay? Are we inherently evil? Yeah, deep down, sure. I don't know. I'm very, very curious what other people think of these. Because again, not dislikes for me, and I did enjoy the experience of reading them both. I just maybe in this season currently of my life, they weren't a great match. I'm fine. I just mean the sense that they kind of made me sad. So I don't know. Different ways, different recommendations. I think I'm feeling about Kawakami that I think everyone should read something written by Kawakami. I definitely get the hype, and I get her writing style is incredible. Like, I really do. I really need to read something else by her. I can see why people like it so much. It was long. Obviously, I know. Sorry, I keep going back and forth on that. But I can definitely see where, like, you're kind of dragged into it, and it's like flipping through a photo album on someone's life. Like, it was very, very easy to picture these situations and picture these things that are going on. And I really enjoyed that. Flesh too. I mean, the writing was good. I enjoyed the overall, like, but I will say it was very, I don't know. And I saw this online too, but it was quite dry at times and quite like, which I guess is the point. I hope, because girl, otherwise that's not great. But very stoner to me. I don't know. I'm curious if other people put that. Hey, is that the point? Was it supposed to be like a play on stoner? I don't know. Y'all tell me. Well, that's all I got. Sorry, it's actually not. It's kind of bummer. I didn't really say, much, but I'm very curious if anyone else has read them and what y'all thought. And what am I currently reading? I am reading Joan Didion, but at the same time, I think I need something a bit more like, I think I need to read something a little bit happier. So if y'all have any happy book not happy, just not like book recommendations, maybe let me know. Exciting news, just had our first book club meeting this last month, and we're getting ready to pick our book for the next month. So if you are in Seoul and you care about social issues and you want to meet people who do too, please join my book club at Seoul Social Justice Bookclub. Well, that's about all I got. Let me know if y'all like my setup. I like it. Well, thank you guys for watching, and girl, I don't know. I'm really trying to film more videos, but I don't know, have the time to sit here and edit. If anyone wants to edit for me, I'll pay you with books. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. Please, I need to be like validated about my opinions on these two books, or at least I need someone to maybe explain to me how they felt about it, and then I can be like, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe my understanding is just not vast enough, like maybe there's deeper meaning. Oh my gosh, I'm a surface level reader. No. Okay, that's my nightmare. Hopefully that's not what's happening here. Anyway, I love y'all. Go out and read a book, or 2 or 3 or 4. And yeah, let me know what you're reading. I'm always looking for recommendations. And y'all be careful. It's getting hot. All right. Love you. Bye. Sorry it got so dark. ASMR.